Hello Nigerians, a wonderful evening to you. I'd like to welcome you to the campaign here on Television Nigerian. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for the starting this program this late. It was due to some that is what we are going to be discussing today. I have with me my in-house analyst. One is a policy strategist. He's a man that understands everything that has to do with policies. That is why I brought him on the program so that we can discuss this in detail. I have Mr. Silvester with me on the program. It's good to have you on the program slide. And also Mr. Bennett, head of news here on TVN Nigeria, also a public analyst and a political commentator. Mr. Bennett, Joshua, it's good to have you on the program.
Thanks, Emilio.
Gentlemen, the president came out to say it's sometime in December, I think December 2017, there was an agreement with the National Executive Council that had to do with the Governors Forum and all that for the withdrawal of $1 billion for procurement of armament and maybe different warfare equipment to fight insurgency and other security matters. And there was this argument that no, it cannot be done, it can be done, it cannot be done between the National Assembly. And then the Minister of, sometime in March, the Minister of Defense came out to say, look, the money has been signed. In fact, it has been released. And the Senate say impossible. It's not possible. The reps say it cannot happen. They became that problem. And just when everything looked like it was going to be a problem, lo and behold, the SSA to the President on National Assembly matters, Senator Itainan came out to say that there is nothing like that. There is no 1 billion anywhere released at any presidency. Our respect for the Constitution and the rule of law.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Analyst. It's good to have you here today. First of all, I will first start with impunity in the present government, because it's very clear that the government does not care about the rule of law, nor the Constitution that we both practice. And in democracy, like I always said, Constitution is one of those tools that we use to drive democracy. So it has shown itself very clear. In December, like you mentioned, 2017, the economic team met and actually proposed that, okay, there's need for us to release $1 billion from the SS Crew account this year, and because of security challenges. Okay. Now, after that, it took them 4 months for the president or the defense minister to come again and say, okay, the president has approved this money.
Okay.
Afterwards, the essay to the president made on National Assembly matter came out to say, no, the president cannot approve the money. In fact, they are not even aware
of the release of that money.
So you can see how the whole
to add up, after they have released the funds and everything, then just last week or a week or so, that's when the president now transmitted a letter to the National Assembly saying that he expects them to understand.
So the release of 462 million that drive the affairs of this country does not care about the ordinary Nigerians. Because even the security armory they want to stock to fight with or the one that is happening between Benue and Nasarawa killings, that they want to use war planes to go and fight, or the ones happening in Taraba. So you can imagine that with the way things are going, from time immemorial, we know the president's antecedent to be that of, if you are not in support of him, then he must be treated in a certain way. If you speak the truth, you must be treated in a certain way. Look at what is happening to Jim Lai.
I just wanted to mention that.
So all of this has been happening because of 2019. They have tried first to see they can siphon from NNPC by giving the 25 billion naira contract, dollars contract, and it failed. They tried the first one with the $1 billion, and also went to the government and they said no.
But they still went ahead to withdraw this money, and this money, I believe, is out of that $1
is to say
that was proposed.
That is to say the president does not care about the rule of law.
We have the constitution on the table here. Mr. Bennett, you brought out the constitution, and I don't know if you are supporting that the president can go ahead and just withdraw money. Like one of my friends was asking me if the president is an accountant that will be the one in charge of money, and I don't know what to say. So what is your take on
So
this?
let me take up this from let's take a step back into history. When late President Yar'Adua was sick, the need to get then Vice President Goodluck Jonathan to take over the reins of government arose. And then President of the Senate, David Mark, came up with what him and his colleagues described as the doctrine of necessity, to ensure that the polity does not shut down. In America, they say the government does not shut down.
Okay.
What the President Muhammad Buhari and his cabinet had done may somehow appear to be unconstitutional.
It's not somehow appears, it is unconstitutional.
It may be unconstitutional, but let's consider the strategic importance of that move.
What strategic importance?
First thing first, the president and his team are privy of certain intelligence reports that we don't know of. That is one.
I believe the Senate President and the Speaker are also part of the Security Council.
They are part of the Security
and they are privy to some of the.
There are certain issues. The Boko Haram group. And the Boko Haram group is not a group that you fight with kids' clothes. They spend a lot of hours. So it is important to replenish them not just with weapons, but with state-of-the-art weapons. So in a way, in terms of security, I think the president and his team did a good job.
I thank you, Mr. Bennett.
Where the challenge is the constitutional provision.
Okay.
The National Assembly
I wanted to go there because you brought this.
The National Assembly has stepped into the matter, no doubt. But the National Assembly, I believe that common sense and wisdom will prevail.
Against the
impeachment move the National Assembly has started will be resolved.
But first, can we agree, is this an impeachable offense?
No, it's not.
Mr.
It's a breach of the Constitution. It shows that the president does not adhere to the Constitution that swore him in. It does not adhere to the Constitution that he took an oath to defend and protect. So it's an impeachable offense.
So it's in order if the National Assembly start impeachment move.
In an ideal way, the National Assembly have every right to start or initiate the impeachment process. But in the case of Nigeria, it's different.
But with this theory of the, what did you call it, of necessity?
The
doctrine of necessity. Don't you think maybe because of the security challenges, because the excuse the president gave from his later transmitted to the National Assembly was that it took some time, maybe that was why it took months after they have agreed to remove that money. Maybe that, I'm not trying to make an excuse or speaking for anybody, but I'm just thinking maybe that's why it took months, because they were waiting for the approval. And like the president said, when the approval came, the time to pay up was very short. And if they did not pay up at when it was paid, so maybe there was no time for them to go through the normal constitutional, what do they call it, constitutional?
You see,
the moves to get those things out.
There's something you need to understand. If any amount is taken out from the ECA account, it's an account for the 3 tiers of government, irrespective of whatsoever is happening. I don't undermine the doctrine of necessity. It comes for emergency situation.
I think there's a fund reserved for that.
For that.
There should, I mean, there's a fund
reserved for that, for emergency situation. So, like for example, now, if something should happen, maybe there's a flood somewhere. These people
the intervention fund
go for that purpose. But for ECA account, that is for the 3 tiers of government, and you refuse to let the other tiers of government to even be aware, not even the National Assembly at the federal level, It's a constitutional breach. That's my point. If this money was coming from maybe any other account, you can say, okay, no, it's not a problem. It's actually a doctrine of necessity. You understand? The president can raise over.
We also need to factor in the fact that if there was money elsewhere, bearing in mind the constitutional provision surrounding the ECA, bearing in mind the dynamics of withdrawing from the ECA, if there was money elsewhere for the government to launch on, the government, I believe, would have done that.
But I can take you on that, because if I remember, the government have recovered so much money so far from corrupt politicians.
Let's not go that way.
No, you said if there was money anywhere. I'm trying
to
alert you that definitely there are monies everywhere.
There are monies recovered from corruption. But you need to understand that most of these corruption cases, as they were, are still being litigated.
Then why will you come and give us a list and say people are corrupt?
You cannot touch whether funds recovered from these people, if there are any. You cannot touch this money. You cannot touch properties confiscated from them.
You can go and touch the ECA money. And also they have passed a vote of no confidence on the service chiefs.
So this
and even the security advisors.
This is the situation. Now we are going to buy warplanes. The war we have at hand is internal war. In every country, in all the countries that
internal conflicts.
Internal conflicts are handled internally.
But
now you need to understand, we are not going to war. It's not a conventional war where your enemies are standing directly facing you, that you need to start using those armory. What we are fighting for is the people are using guerrilla warfare tactics. They hit and run. You can't even see them. So why only start using the planes to attack?
I heard the plane is for surveillance for all that.
This is the challenge. I've always insisted that when we discuss security issues and counter-insurgency, we need to approach it with caution.
Okay.
As much as the insurgents have been using guerrilla tactics, it is abundantly clear from several security reports that from time to time, the military identify their hideouts. Pardon me. The military identify their hideouts.
And
these guys are fighting with state-of-the-art weapons. Remember between 2009, I suppose, between 2009 to just about 2015, the then government did everything it could do until we realized.
Don't forget they were refused arms. These same arms they are giving out now.
Until it was realized at a point that while our soldiers were fighting these guys with AK-47, these guys were fighting our soldiers with surface-to-air machine guns. Now, if the military on its own, if the executive arm of government goes ahead to buy surveillance airplanes, we should give them kudos for that.
Surveillance airplanes. Nobody is saying we shouldn't give kudos. Don't get us wrong. I, for one, will not say don't get things that will help fight.
Your challenge is
my challenge is the modality. You don't use Appian way to get things right when it is wrong.
Well, sometimes
what is wrong is wrong.
Sometimes Appian way helps in address the situation.
My point is this: this morning there have been several attempts
to touch this money.
To touch these funds. Like I said, we'll be having these security challenges right from May 29, 2015.
So it's not a new challenge.
It's not a new challenge. They have been sitting, series of meetings. The joint chiefs have been meeting. They have been gathering intelligence.
And I believe monies have been voted.
They have been gathering intelligence. Ministry of Defense have their budget. All defense, all those security agencies have their own budget, and they are prepared for this. Now, they have tried with NNPC, the fund didn't come up. They tried with December, the fund didn't come up. They tried last month to withdraw the said money again, the fund didn't come up, and they have to use force.
So, but for an insurgency that has been defeated,
the question you ask,
why do you need this sophistication?
The question you ask now is this: how many of those planes do they buy, and how
much?
much?
12.
And how much one costs?
Each one is supposed to be $10.2 million.
So what? How did that arrive at 462 million?
It's still a question that we need to ask.
That is the thing we begin to ask.
Mr.
What
Bennett?
kind of intelligence?
Okay.
These are the things the thing we can see.
Because the records are there to show that.
At the risk of giving excuses for the government, I will still tell you today, and to as many as are listening to us, as when it comes to counter-insurgency, when it comes to war, no amount will be enough to prosecute a war.
Okay.
No amount.
Even if the top off and the remaining offload goes
the
into
National
private
Assembly
pockets
has invited the president to come give details of that expenditure. Let's wait until the president gives details.
Do you think, in your opinion, that
why
the president will appear to the National Assembly?
Why is Dasuki in prison today?
We know why Dasuki is in prison.
No, we don't.
Well, if you don't, I should educate you. Dasuki is in prison today because money made for counter-insurgency operation was misappropriated.
Because according to the last discussion we had here, they said because America delayed in answering them when they wanted to buy this arms, the money went into other things that you talk as
bottom line,
doctrine of necessity. Okay, in this case now, this may be misappropriation. Because if the planes we're about to buy is going to cost about $125 or $130 million, why is $462 million?
And I say to you that the National Assembly has invited the president to give a breakdown of the expenditure. Let's wait until the president.
I'm not sure it's for the breakdown. They're even calling him to come and tell them why he touched.
By and large, in the course of telling them why he touched the money in the first place, he also tell them how the money was expended.
How will you expect me, if I was the Senate president, to believe the president if he could have gone ahead to touch this money without first going through the proper channel and following the constituted way of touching this money where accountability is in check? Because with this now, how do I even account for monies that were even taken without my knowledge?
How do you account?
Yes.
It's not your job to account. There's a reason for the office of the Auditor General of the Federation.
Okay.
There's a reason for the office of the Accountant General of the
that
Federation.
Has been very productive over time.
More so, as should you be the president of the Senate, it's not a function of you. It's a function of the state. The onus is not on you to believe or not to believe. If the figures and the facts are clear, you have no option but to believe, because it's about the security of lives and property. It's about national
Okay, so far so good. I like this line of thought. So it's for security of life and property. So far so good. How secured are lives and properties in Nigeria vis-a-vis the recent happenings even some days ago?
Security is a continuum. It's a work in progress.
So
the fight is still on. But one thing is sure, with the concerted effort of the government to address the situation, very soon insecurity will be a thing of the past.
See, I want to take you on the part where you say the Senate president does not have the right to know what happens in the Auditor General's office and other.
No, I never said that.
You say it's not his duty.
I said it's not his
duty.
It's not his duty to
bother
himself.
It's not bothering himself.
It is day-to-day breakdown of
It is his
figures.
duty. See, in the process of accountability, checks and balances, that is why we have this institution of government. The executive, the legislative and the judiciary. This institution of government are meant to check the activities of each other in order to bring that transparency. And now to show you the impunity in this present government, the National Assembly said, no, you cannot touch this ECA fund until it goes through the process. You went ahead and touched it because you feel this is a military.
And he now wrote a letter to not say.
Now, there are instances where the president will take action before writing to the National Assembly, yes. I agree with that. But not anything close to funds. And you should remember also, if you recall, in the delegated legislation, the National Assembly have every right to legislate over any issue that takes place in this country. But because of lack of time, because of lack of expertise, that is why they delegate those powers to those institutions like the ministries to help them, but they should not go beyond the boundaries. And that's why they are there to check them. And they are telling the executive, now look, this fund, you don't have access to it, express access to it. The fund that you have access to, not the ECA funds.
And moreover, we're even talking security. Mr. Bennett, why will the police, for example, go after one individual with the amount of policemen while there are plenty of security issues that we need policemen to handle for just one man? Is that not a misplaced priority?
You know, the challenge I'm beginning to sense is that we are prone to wanting to do people's jobs for them. The Inspector General of Police did not become an IGP overnight. He became an IGP having rose through the ranks of the police force.
Well, that can be said.
That is on the one hand. On the other hand, most of what we have about the Dino Melaye saga with the police are reports from social media. The police has given you her position. And the police, Dino Melaye at the moment has a subsisting court case in Lokoja. The question is, why has a serving senator, who of course
was the rule of law applied in this case,
time and time after he has been invited for the police. But beyond that, the police did not go to pick Dino Melaye. Dino Melaye surrendered himself to the police.
When? Dino was stopped from traveling to Morocco.
Dino on the first
that was yesterday in the morning.
Dino should have obeyed a court instruction by going down to Lokoja.
But Dino was in Lokoja for a burial with the Senate President. He even shook hands with the Commissioner of Police of Kogi State.
Shaking hands is different from...
So why didn't you arrest him there?
Shaking hands is different from...
Well, what stopped them from arresting him?
And moreover, you don't...
I think there is more than...
I think for sure that the police must have invited Dino Melaye.
I am asking you a question that Dino was in Lokoja a week ago after the summon has been sent to him.
What makes you
and he was not arrested there and then. They waited until when he needs to travel to Morocco on a national assignment. They now delayed him. And when he left there, they released him. They said there was based on instruction. Then they now went and laid siege in his house until they now picked him up. You told him you were taking him to court, and the next thing you started heading to Lokoja.
That's Dino's account.
That's the account of that. Okay, why do you want me to believe the police account?
The police is the only authority in this regard whose account should be taken serious for public discourse.
Now, the police...
Dino has an antecedent. And if you follow Dino's history, Dino is dramatic. He's dramatic.
Being a drama queen. But Nigerians see him as a spokesperson. As somebody who speaks in the mind of the masses.
A section of Nigerians see him so.
In National Assembly, there are point of orders that guide the plenary section in National Assembly. Now, one of those points of order, if any serving senator is having issues with the police must write to the President of the Senate seeking his approval to arrest a sitting senator.
That's the Constitution.
That you have to know this. Now,
no, that is not the Constitution.
Now,
that's the bylaw of the National Assembly.
Now,
not the Constitution.
But is it to be respected?
The question is, was the Senate President not written to?
Well, there's no account that he was.
There's no account that he wasn't.
So now, these police did not write to the floor of the Senate requesting to arrest Dino. And even if they are arresting Dino, on what grounds are they arresting Dino? See, one thing you should know is this. In this country, when you speak the truth, they will nail you down. If you lie,
They will never. So like said, you speak, you die.
If
you don't speak, you die. So let's speak and die.
And then
So, and that is why they are trying to do all of this.
The question is, who is defining
Now
the
that is a question. Who's defining the truth? Is it the police, who over time have been culpable of lying? Sometimes, for example,
Let me
bring this notice.
Okay.
Police, army or the military, even the paramilitary, all those institutions or agencies are instruments of the executive. If you recall, this IGP was given order by the president, according to what we heard, to go to Benue State, stay there, and bring the situation to order. But unfortunately, when the president got to Benue, he said he thought the IGP was in Benue.
Benue, what's your take on
And
that?
IGP, since then, have you heard
Any
punishment or any form of sanction to the IGP?
And what makes you think it won't come?
How long was it supposed to take? Is it a
That's
forever
not a
thing?
function for you to decide.
But my brother, over
Mr.
time,
Bennett, we have to learn how to call this spade a
The
spade.
president never said he thought the IGP was in Benue.
he said it
What
on
he
live
did say- what
television.
he
He
did
said,
say-
I did not know that the inspector general that I asked to come to Benue and stay until the program is
Only stayed
problem
for
is
one day.
only stayed for 1 day.
Now, it is different from
When
saying
they are
thought
killing
he was in
innocent
Benue.
citizens,
That is what it simply
When they
means.
are killing innocent
If I did
citizens,
not know you were where I sent you to
do
be.
the
But that means-
IGP,
no.
do the
The
IGP
president-
deploy up to 150 police to Benue when they were killing ordinary citizens in Benue?
The question we should
Why
ask,
would they
what
deploy
is-
over 100 policemen to go after Dino?
one man.
Is that the police account? That they deployed over 100 policemen? to-
Whose account?
Even if they employed,
Who do
they
police
employed-
report to?
If they deployed 10, is that not even too much for one person? I had 30 went with
How many,
the
how many,
stockpile.
how many policemen, according to the Nigerian police, were deployed to pick up Dino?
30.
According to the police,
Yes.
30 policemen.
It is
were
on record.
Now, do you also realize that it is on record that Dino's thugs double-crossed the police van?
Didn't talk.
Thugs.
So what were 30 policemen doing that they didn't shoot them down?
Now,
Yes.
if Dino's thugs are shot, 30
If you
police-
say
if Dino-
they are
if
talks,
the police,
should be ashamed
No, if the
to
police-
come out to the public and say that that Dino was taken away from their hands.
No, 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 no.
Armed police.
if the police had shot these people down, you, NS, will still have
Anyway,
come on screen.
Mr. Bennett, let me
to
ask
say
you
the
this question.
police abused human
Mr.
rights.
Bennett, let me ask you this question. Has it in any way shown to you that it's either the president is not doing the right thing or Nigeria has become a failed state?
And if we talk, the conversation of Nigeria being a failed state is a belated conversation. It's Nigeria in the
Has been
context
a
of
failed
a
state since.
failed state has been one since before 2015.
I'm talking about now.
Now-
because
So now-
this
so now
government
you are
came,
saying-
a government that has been
came with
in power
economic,
for 3 years.
economic
This
policy.
is a government that came
They want to,
next
they want to,
a failed
they
state
want
and
to
the
fight
government
corruption
sought to
and they want to
resuscitate
provide
the failed
security.
state.
Have they been able to achieve any of this? That's the question.
It's a work in progress.
Oh.
You do not resurrect, you do not revamp a failed state in 3 years.
So what is in the ratio?
Then why did he come into power if you cannot revive and you made all the promises that you
What is
can
the ratio?
revive?
The
What is the
question,
ratio?
the point
What is the ratio?
The point is he cannot. Nobody saying he cannot. What we are saying is that it's been only 3 years.
So-
and he's putting,
so how many years
you
do we
need
have
to
to
understand
give?
that a society develops better if institutions are built and not personalities.
So why
This
is it-
government has been busy building institutions.
Like police.
like
Putting
police?
infrastructure
Like
in
police.
place.
Like police.
like
Like
of course,
the EFCC
like
that
of course,
have
the-
empowering
the
the army
EFCC.
today. Like empowering the military.
God conduct
The
you.
reason we are here
Those are
today
the institutions
is
that
to
the government is
criticize
strengthening.
the
The
military.
government is building. So that wherever go against the government,
The
they will
front
send
of
them.
this conversation. This is a challenge to Nigerians. When Obasanjo was there and put Nuhu Ribadu in there, in the EFCC, to checkmate the excesses of looters, we all screamed wolf. that Obasanjo was using the EFCC to witch hunt imaginary and real political,
that's what people say is happening right
political
now.
enemies. There is no point in history where the fight against corruption has ever been easy, and no society for that matter. The late Dora Kunyidi said, if you fight corruption one way, it costs at you 10 ways. And Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, as well as Obi, the former Minister of Education, echoed the same sentiment.
But they are also
For
still
every
challenging this
government,
government.
of course they should. That is the beauty of democracy. The government needs to be on its toes.
So are you
The
saying
government
are you
needs to be
saying
aware
that this government
that
is fighting corruption?
I'm telling you authoritatively
That this government is fighting
government
corruption.
is doing its best to revamp the Nigerian system.
There is not, is it fighting corruption?
It is, of course.
And so far with the list and all that, it shows we're fighting corruption, right?
We're on the right.
How come after 3 years in office, no single conviction has even happened?
It's a judicial process. Buhari is not the person appearing in court to prosecute corrupt persons.
So what
There
does
is
he
an
do?
office of the Attorney General of the Federation,
Okay.
supposedly equipped
But the Attorney
with,
General reports to who?
supposedly equipped with seasoned legal minds.
But
Now,
I believe the
it is
Attorney General
nothing
reports
for
to
the president, even if he does, you also need to understand that the legal process must follow. Otherwise, people like you will still come on TV to say the government is abusing judicial processes.
Okay, can I let me ask
So
you this.
let's give the government a
When
breather.
INEC
We get
when
there.
INEC released the timetable of the election, how long does it take the court to rule?
It took less than
Why
few
is it
weeks to
taking
rule.
3 years to complete a
So
so?
let me ask you a
They
question.
just ruled
Let me ask you
that
a
the National
question.
Assembly has no right.
Let's
decide
assume,
the-
let's assume, for instance, that of course you know that the court runs by appellate system. Let's assume, for instance, that INEC took that matter to perhaps, let's say, a court of appeal.
You
Is
can't just
Buhari-
go straight to the court of
I said perhaps, hypothetically speaking, is Buhari the chief judge of the court of appeal?
But can the chief judge be influenced?
Do you want him?
Can
to,
the chief judge be
Do you
influenced?
want him to interfere in judicial
Can the
processes?
chief
That's
judge be
what I'm
influenced?
asking.
Okay, the question is asked now, which I will echo, is that how come in this case now the judicial process was quicker and faster than every other process that has taken over 3 years?
Now, it's a conversation to be left at the schedules of the judges.
So the judges can decide
Whatever they decide
schedule
is going to take preeminence over whatever hearing. It's in their purview to decide that.
Oh.
I, for one, will not come on live TV and tell you that for whatever reason, Buhari or whoever becomes the president tomorrow should have a handle on the judiciary or even on the legislation.
But it's
We are only
They can't have on the
concerned. We
legislation.
are only
They
concerned
can't have on
about
the legislation
the
because they do
need.
not appoint, they are elected.
We are only concerned about the need to ensure that when it is necessary, without going through the bottlenecks of bureaucracy, the government steps in.
But for
especially in
a
matters of
government,
security.
that has blatantly over time keep flaunting the rule of law, even when people who they have been incarcerated have been granted bail by the same judiciary that you say is independent, the same executive still do not respect those judgments. What will you say of that government?
There is a reason we have civil society organizations in the system.
They've been fighting and nobody's
They should
listening.
keep fighting. We'll get here.
Until when?
Society is an evolutionary trend. They should keep fighting.
Well, Mr. Bennett, with this your mindset, I know that we still have a very long way to go in Nigeria because definitely it's like this.
These are the kind of people that we have in
I'm
government.
only saying that Nigeria can do better if the president does what he's supposed to do, especially when it pertains to the rule of law.
No, but you see, that's the beauty of the people like you. That's the beauty of the media. That's the beauty of other stakeholders. Keep pushing. The reason Ngozi Obieze-Kwesili is doing the Bring Back Our Guest campaign is not because she wants to remain politically relevant. Her likes help to keep the system on its toes. There should be check and balances. I'm not against voices of dissent. No. But one thing we should have at the back of our mind is, on security issues, sometimes government takes decision without necessarily going through the red tape of bureaucracy.
Okay, let's take our last one because time is no longer on our side. But we've eaten into another time, maybe because we started a bit late. But tomorrow I can guarantee you we will be on time. Mr. Silvester, last one.
Well, I always preach this. The beauty of democracy is the rule of law and the Constitution. So if in any way you are breaching the Constitution that serve as the instrument to pilot the affairs of Nigeria, then our doom days are numbered.
Well, we have survived the law of doom days. But I will tell you that Nigeria has come to stay. Nigeria will develop at its own pace. We are not in a hurry to compare Nigeria with countries that have stayed more than 200 years. But why the beauty of democracy is the rule of law? The sustainability of democracy is the law of rules. So let's stick to that.
Sustainability of any democracy is the law of rules, not the rules of law. Well, you've heard from the two gentlemen. What's your own opinion? You can always reach us on by liking our Facebook, Television Nigerian. Just go to the page, Television Nigerian, like the page, and you can always be a part of the conversation where you drop your comments and we get to see it. Don't forget that tomorrow is another day. We'll meet you here again, and then we'll have the same discussion with some other breaking news that will be happening in our country, Nigeria. Think Nigeria, live Nigeria, and believe in Television Nigeria. Until I come your way again tomorrow, my name is Analyst. I'd like to thank you, Silvester, for being part of the program. I also like to thank you, Bennett. I thank the production crew, our studio manager, and also the engineers, Onset, Noel, Josh, and Donald. We thank you, and also we thank everybody that's been part of the program. Thank you, and God bless you.